Hello and welcome back to the 11 o'clock Waffle. I am Mac Forsyth and it has been 7 months since we last recorded an edition of this show, so I've no idea what we do.
That's certainly true.
So I think it's a very reassuring start.
It's a reassuring start.
Very reassuring.
On this show, which we've done specially because the Olympic torch passed through Falmouth today,
You did.
we have got returning two-time winner, Alex Walton Kay.
Hello.
Chris, this is the bit where you play your introduction music.
You're not getting it anymore.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. We should point out that Chris has got a ukulele here.
Have I? Oh, I thought I was doing that with my mouth.
So, welcome back, Alex.
I suppose it's great to be back.
And on next to Alex is the second president of FECCLES, Mr. Dan Scholes, making his debut today.
Hello, hello.
Bad horse, bad horse, bad horse, bad horse, bad horse. Come on.
He rides across the nation, the thoroughbred of sin. He got the application that you just sent in. It needs evaluation, so let the game begin. A heinous crime, some sure will force to run. It would be nice, of course. Bad horse, bad horse, bad horse, bad. That'll do.
Brilliant. And,
Best intro ever.
and finally, Chris Stanley is back on the show.
We are hosting the Olympics. We are hosting the Olympics. We are hosting the Olympics, and it's costing us a bomb.
Very nice.
Controversial end to the song. So basically, Dan, you've not been on here before. It's
No,
your
I
first show.
haven't, yes.
Chris, 1 win, I believe, in 2 appearances.
1 win in 2 appearances.
Alex, 2 in 4. Is that right?
I think
2 in
so.
4?
I think so.
2 in 4.
So technically, I'm on the same level as Alex, really. 50%, 50% win rate.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to leave with 100% win rate.
Yeah.
If possible.
Oh, you can. Yes, that's true. You can beat us both and worse than ours.
Because I believe you won on your first show.
Yeah.
Chris, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
You
I was Emma and Edgar,
Emma and Edgar.
the unstoppable Duncan.
Yeah.
Well, I am the master of beginner's luck, so I think destiny's on my side today.
We will see.
Basically, questions relating to current events and the news, and just debate them and waffle away.
I'll retract my previous statement.
So here we go. Question 1. In honour of FECCLES' performance last night of Much Ado About Nothing, which was it good? I didn't get time to see it.
Utterly
good.
brilliant.
Hilarious.
Yes. It hit all the right notes. There was a range of emotions. The new actors that we'd not
Some
seen
of the new
before.
actors I think are fantastic.
Yes.
And I don't like to name names because that would feel like I was putting the other actors out, I guess.
Well,
But
we could say the person who played, I don't know, Benedict, and the person
Benedict was
who played
fantastic.
Beatrice.
as
yeah.
was the Prince. He was
Yes,
fantastic. Beatrice was brilliant.
Yeah, Beatrice was
Absolutely
very
loved it.
good, but we shouldn't, we shouldn't say anything.
No.
Okay, so in honour of that, I'd like you to cast your own Shakespeare play. Which play are you going to pick, and who are you going to have in it? So Alex is the experienced head here.
You must
can go
know.
first.
Yeah, I'm an experienced head here, but I'm not experienced in damn Shakespeare, for God's sake, I mean, naturally, you've got to have Mr. David Tennant in there somewhere, because he's RSC, isn't he?
Yes.
You know, I would, if I had a TARDIS, I'd probably pick up John Pertwee and say, John, there's a role for you in this. On you go here. You've got a nice grand voice. Off you go, lad. I think Mr. Stephen Fry, very rich,
very
wonderful
good.
voice.
Yeah.
And, of course, I think Brian Blessed. I'm not picking any cast because my Shakespeare knowledge is very, very limited. But, I'll throw all those actors together and hopefully something amazing will happen.
Mm.
Plus Tom Baker as well, another very rich,
you
distinctive
did.
character. Yes, I did.
I was wait. Oh.
I went for the Baker.
Well, you could have gone
Who
for
is
that.
Tom Baker? I'm sorry.
Oh.
Part of me just died, Daniel. No, he
Maybe
was
give
the
you a
fourth
jelly
Doctor
baby.
Who.
Fourth
Doctor.
Doctor.
Okay, Chris.
Oh, me next. Right. First of all, I do have to have a Doctor Who theme and someone who has already been in a Shakespeare production, which is Tim McInerney. Who's been in a lot of things. He was obviously Lord Percy in Blackadder, and he played Iago in Othello, and he was brilliant. So I'd like him because he's actually quite a good villain. He's actually quite versatile. Everyone thinks of him as being Percy, but as Darling, he was probably one of the best actors in Blackadder to the extent that he twitched. I would also, on a Shakespeare-related theme, I think Rowan Atkinson, you can always have a role.
You can never have too much Rowan Atkinson.
You can never have too much Rowan Atkinson. I'm surprised that Hugh Laurie has not been mentioned. I think Hugh Laurie, as any sort of foppish as Claudio in Much Ado About Nothing, as sort of Antonio in Twelfth Nights. There's so many roles he fits, just a foppish buffoon. Can we say, dare I say it, Robert Downey Jr. in some role? Because it's impressive how many American actors can actually do quite well. Kevin Spacey had a role in, I think it was Richard III, and he was actually quite well received. So I'd like to see Robert Downey Jr. do something, because everyone's loved him in the whole Sherlock Holmes stuff. So, interesting.
Dan, open goal is nobody has yet mentioned a play they're casting.
Yes, I think probably Romeo and Juliet is my play of choice. I think I've always been suitable for the role of Juliet. And I suppose for Romeo, I guess we could go with, I don't know, Rachel McAdams, Keira Knightley. Either of those I think would be fantastic.
Who you having as Mercutio?
Mercutio. I think Leonardo DiCaprio. Actually,
Sorry.
Put him in a lower role, I think, yes.
Going back, I realise that it's probably too far gone, but I think I would pick Twelfth Night because there are enough characters, and most of the ones I picked are comedy. I think actually having Robert Downey Jr. as Orsino would be interesting.
Twelfth Night is a very funny play.
Yeah, and I think you could do
Romeo
stuff
and
with
Juliet
it.
does just end on a bit of a downer, I
It
guess.
does.
And I think that's why I like it, because it seems like it's going to go all right, and you're just kind of hoping
So
for the end
many
to be
people
okay. And then,
die. Paris, they get rid of Paris. I mean, that's difficult to do with nuclear warfare. Yeah. They kill Paris. Tragic.
No croissants.
No
croissants.
No Eiffel Tower. It's Team America all over again.
Question 2. Given there is great debate as to whether Shakespeare actually wrote any of his plays, let's have your favourite conspiracy theories. Chris?
Right, I'm ahead of you because amusingly, my younger brother Stephen has actually been researching film noir in, sort of Sam Spade and Humphrey Bogart. Did you get my flowers, sweet? That's excellent. I'll get you a check in the post. That sort of stuff. And there's a very interesting one, which Citizen Kane is based on, which is the death of Thomas H. Ince. Thomas H. Ince was actually part of the silent movie genre and was good friends with Charlie Chaplin. And there was a sort of newspaper baron, a bit like Rupert Murdoch, William Randolph Hearst. It's the 1920s, it's classic stuff. And basically, Hearst and Chaplin appear to both be going at having the same woman. Hearst is not happy. He's a newspaper baron. You can't go around having women who you aren't actually going out with. That's his job. They're on a yacht. Chaplin and this girl are supposedly found in a compromising position. Hearst goes for his gun. Ince hears the screams. The almighty scuffle. Ince gets shot. Ince gets shot in the head, and he dies later. And they cover it up. They burn his body. There's sort of, there's a complete cover-up as to who actually kills him and what's sort of like that. When the newspapers actually get around to it, they just interview the doctor. They don't interview Hearst. It's not like Rupert Murdoch where they haul him in front of the sort of press complaints committee.
So hang on, you're suggesting that there's a Shakespeare conspiracy that involves Charlie Chaplin?
No, it's just favourite conspiracy.
Oh, favourite conspiracy.
Favourite
Very
because it then inspires Citizen Kane, which is in itself a brilliant film. And it inspires quite a lot. There's quite a lot of film noir, but Hearst never really actually gets away with it because apparently someone was saying all you have to do is mention Ince's name, and Hearst goes as white as a sheet because he knows he did something wrong or something like that. I'm sorry, America. My accents, they fail me.
Very, very strong start from Chris. Dan, what have you got on conspiracies?
Well, my favourite conspiracy theory is probably that the royal family are either aliens or lizards or some kind of time-travelling relatives of Doctor Who. I don't know.
The Silurians.
You could ask Ed Inslee, former Vice President of FECCLES, who has met the Queen.
Has he really? Oh, yes, he has, of course.
But she was wearing green. The plot thickens down.
The lizard. Comes with scales, yes.
Dan picking up straight away exactly how to score points on this show. Alex.
That the moon landing was all an elaborate hoax.
Oh, yes.
I just find it, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, that's why I love it. The fact that obviously the government would spend all this money on faking, you know, obviously this elaborate film project. I think it's absolutely absurd. Yeah, as a media student, I absolutely just love that idea that they would go through all that trouble. Yeah, but obviously by the time they actually rack up the budget for that, they're going to just, I may as well just yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a British thing to do, though. It's a British thing to sort of do the low budget, to do the Red Dwarf. To sort of make it sort of look absolutely awful, and then everyone loves it because it looks so awful because the set and the props are clearly just made up. You know, things like that. And, you know, whereas America, all the money they throw at their stuff...
Yeah, we could never have convinced anyone we landed on the moon,
No.
could we?
No, of course we could. It's like, you landed on the moon. Yeah, really.
Why is there a sound boom in the shot?
Why is that orc getting up?
Why are those sets shaking? This is ridiculous.
Why is there a blue phone box in the background? What's going on this moon here?
Oh shit, that's Doctor Who, sorry. Change channel.
Alex, did you just swear there? So
Sorry,
good
I
job
do
we are not
apologise.
live and not invoking the penalty
You
off
can-
rule.
Are we not?
No.
Oh. But we are.
Within limits.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, not every...
Well, I'm just under 1 week away from a deadline. I've got a right to swear. I'm rather tense.
Question, pushing on to question 3 now.
Now what they say about camping, Alex.
Keeping with the first 4 questions are really about sort of plays and theatre. So question 3, what is your favourite play?
Oh, you're going there, aren't you?
Do you need a bit of thinking time, Chris?
I think we all need a bit of thinking time, don't we?
I might have this one actually.
Alex, kick off then.
The musical called Blood Brothers.
Good call. Very good.
Yeah, I do very. You know,
Tell me it's not true, Alex.
just like Marilyn Monroe. It merges, I think, very gritty kind of, you know, obviously a gritty realism of like, you know, the horrible things that go on, you know, and that the two brothers go through. As well as, you know, but it's also like a very good musical at the same time. So I think it just works extremely well in that sense, merging two worlds, serious hard drama and, you know, music and light musicals. So no, that gets my big thumbs up.
It's an excellent start. I'm going to have to counter it though, and I'm surprised. Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge. I think in terms of what it actually does with modern songs and puts it in a Victorian setting, particularly with Roxanne, with the guy sort of roaring it very low, and how dark that scene actually gets.
Is it a play?
It's a film as well. It's a musical, it's a film, it's a play, but the way they've done it, because it is a musical now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a play and everything like that. Moulin Rouge has been everything. It really has. So much has been done with Moulin Rouge because it's such a good story. But yeah, I mean, I came over it with the film and stuff like that, and the fact they do like a virgin. I mean, really, you'd sort of be there going, "You're doing Madonna."
Sorry, when you said that, I thought you said they do like a virgin.
Well,
The
I'm not in
context is-
control of how your brain operates. I can only be a sat-nav for so many people.
Dan.
Well, I think my favourite play has got to be one that I was involved in, actually. No, Chris, I'm afraid it's not Accidental Death and Anarchist.
Oh.
In fact, it's not even a FECCLES performance, I hasten to add. It's a pantomime that I did at my school that a guy, Daniel David Webber, had written. And it was just hilarious. I played one of the 7 men in a vertically challenged disposition, as the play was called, I think.
I've heard this.
And I just had such a riot doing it. I was
Tiny.
Yes, was I half pint or
You
tiny?
were half pint, and there was a massive guy called Tiny.
There
Because
was,
I
he
remember
was
you telling
huge.
me this, and it was just like, "What about you, Tiny? You like?" Nah.
It was brilliant. I just had such fun doing it, and I think that's what plays are about. They're about having a bit of fun, and there was a bit of sing-song in there as well. And we did. What did we do? A cover of the 9 to 5 Dolly Parton, which was, you got to throw a bit of Dolly Parton in there just for good measure. So I guess I'll go with that one.
Cool. Just cutting in that. Do you think Chris and Dan need to move
Yeah,
closer for the mic?
Yeah, sure, that's fine, that's no problem. A bit closer, that's fine.
Technical. We can cut this bit out. It's brilliant. Most of it ends up on the floor anyway.
How rude.
I know.
All the X-rated bits.
Get down on the ground.
Question 4. Question 4, and I'm sure this has shocked you. Chris Miles is to play Herod in Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar.
I'd have casted myself. I think it's a brilliant choice. Yeah.
I'm-
Fantastic casting there.
I'm going to have to stop you there because I actually played Herod in a production probably did around the same time as you, sort of sixth form time. Actually, year 11, 2005, I was Herod. It was amazing. It's the best song.
But is Chris Moyles capable?
He can be. If they actually, the thing what you need to do with Herod is it is the one song. His song is the one song in Jesus Christ Superstar where you can actually let your hair down and really enjoy yourselves. All the others are just a bit sort of like angst. We're killing Christ. Angst.
Which is kind of the point of the play.
It is kind of the point of the play,
yeah.
but that's the one bit where you do actually need to make sure they enjoy it, because otherwise they're going to go home ridiculously depressed. So, what I had was that I was dressed up as Hugh Hefner with Playboy bunnies. With the dressing gown, smoking jacket, proper smoking jacket.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Ian's Jesus Christ Superstar. Smoking jacket, Playboy bunnies running around, and all the lines sort of... He needs, if he can deliver this line, prove to me that you're no fool, walk across my swimming pool, well, then he'll be fine. Because that's the line you need to get.
For those of you who don't know Christopher J Stanley, get on Google now and start picturing him.
I'm struggling myself to picture the Playboy bunnies with Christopher J.
Christ, prove to me that you're no fool, walk across my swimming pool. Still good.
Shall I get to the question now?
You can.
Possibly.
So give me other shot casting decisions.
Well, I'd like to kick this off.
Go on, Dan.
Again, with something from my personal repertoire. This goes back to year 6, I believe. I'm sorry, but Oliver Twist was being performed by my year 6 leavers group, and who better to play Oliver than me, I thought. My teacher had other plans, apparently, because, what was his name? Stephen Ryder. Oh, that guy. He was like the favourite one in the class, and he always kind of got everything he wanted. He was blonde and blue-eyed, and I could have punched him in the face, but I didn't. I didn't.
I'm here for you, man.
And I got cast as Fagin just because I was tall, and they needed someone to tower over everybody else. But
Fagin is a brilliant.
he was fantastic, and I'm quite glad that I did get that in the end. But at first, I couldn't believe it. I just thought I was perfect for Oliver. You know, this kind of soul-broken, heartbroken little child who just wants some more.
Everyone does Oliver Twist at some point. I mean, I was just a little urchin that gets kicked by Mr. Bumble. That was my role. The Fagin in that was brilliant. That's the part I wanted to play. I think I better think it out again in the actual musical version. The songs for Fagin are the best. They are. Oliver's is useless. Who, you know, Where Is Love? It's like Justin Bieber wandered onto a stage. Anyway,
Year 6, so year 6, that was like
Year
12
6.
years ago.
I don't hold too much resentment. Not too much.
I can go further. Reception.
Bring it. From the recesses, go.
Right.
This week on This Is Your Life.
Nativity, right? The Nativity, it's got to be good. Everyone comes out in Nativity. It's what you watch. It's the one time you actually go and watch your kids in the Nativity, right? Okay? We had a town cry. Liam Harris, who now works at McDonald's. He's doing alright. He's assistant manager. He's better than nothing. He's worked his way up, like yourself, Dan.
Oh, thank you for bringing that into this, yes. I did work. I do no longer work at McDonald's. Thank you.
You got at the ranks.
I was, yes, but I've left there.
Most people don't even get into
In your
McDonald's.
past.
Let's cut that from the whole thing, please. Thank you.
Most people can't even work their way through the doors. Anyway, so Liam was chosen. Liam was very short, and Liam was very friendly, and everyone loved Liam. He was not a town crier. He tried to go, oh yay, yay, and it was like, oh yay, come and see, come to the census. You've got to come to the census, please. Why isn't anyone listening to me? I just wanted to be happy. He may not have said all that. So basically, they wrote me in as a second town crier. It's kind of set a pattern, didn't it? You gave this young boy, who's already quite loud, the role of town crier. I won't even try and replicate the volume that I must have done that at, because it must have been deafening. But the point is, it worked, because it did sound like one
like a real
very
town
loud
crier.
person with two people. So everyone sort of expected it to be loud enough for two people, and it was. So it was originally shocking casting, but Mrs. Gleed, who did all the pantomimes then, is still at my primary school, reined it back in. So shock casting doesn't always need to. No. Alex?
Getting back to the Shakespeare theme, actually.
Oh.
Now, I never saw this, but a very good drama teacher of mine who worked at my sixth form did. we were having a Shakespeare conversation, and then he turns to us and goes, "Boys," because there's me and my friend Sam in the class. He goes, "Boys, I once saw a crap production of Macbeth, and you know who they got to play the ghost?" And we went, "No, we weren't there." So he went, "Right, this is what happened. We were all sitting there, and then the ghost comes out, and it's a man wearing a white sheet, and he comes onto the stage, and then the performer tripped over, the sheet fell off, and it was Brian Blessed."
Really?
Brian Blessed playing the ghost in Macbeth.
Oh, poor Brian Blessed.
So that, and I mean,
Why did you do that to him?
you could think of subtle ghosts, more subtle ghosts.
Why didn't they make him the porter? Oh, that's shocking. That is shocking casting. Fair dues, fair dues. I mean, 12th Night, there was some terrible casting as well. I saw an awful production of 12th Night once.
And it must have been really bad because I mean, because you can tell, and that teacher was quite refined, and he never really ever swore, but that was the one time he said, "It was a crap performance, boys." So it must have been shocking.
Something must have shook him up, yeah.
He's a great man.
And I like how your old teacher is basically Richard Griffiths as well.
Not quite, not quite.
He sounded a bit like Pete Postlethwaite from Rust Off, to be honest.
I'll pass that on to him.
Chris, would you like to do a jingle before the scores?
Oh, a jingle?
Jingle for the scores.
Okay, right. There was a bit in the Olympic talk stuff, because we are going to be doing about this, where, unfortunately, the police did get kind of stuck and couldn't move. So I may have taunted them with going, "Roxanne, you don't have to wear that dress tonight. Those days are over. You don't have to say your body to the night. Roxanne." And went on like that, really.
In last place at the minute on 13 points, it's Alex.
Really?
Well, I think Blessed might have saved me a bit. So
Oh, right.
Blessed did save you. 14 points in second at the minute, it's Chris.
Oh, that's alright.
And for holding resentment for 12 years over Oliver Twist, Dan is in the lead on 15.
Very good.
Bitter and twisted, that's what we want on this show.
Then I'm the man.
Minor key. Symbols resentment.
Question 5. It's a big reunion weekend in Falmouth this weekend.
Yes.
So what else would you like to see return? Dan, kick off.
Oh, return to Falmouth.
Or just return in general, not to Falmouth.
Oh, just return. Oh, I see. Well, sorry, that's not my phone. Honest. I guess I would like to see the return of. Oh my goodness, I have no idea. I'm sorry, my mind's gone completely blank. Can we go to someone else first?
Firefly.
Firefly. No, I'm sorry, I have to completely disagree with you there before we start. Because if they returned Firefly, it would destroy what Firefly is and was.
I suppose.
It would add something that
But
isn't
not
needed
even a
to
Christmas
it.
special?
No.
No?
No, they did the film.
Oh, actually, sorry,
They
Star
did.
Wars, that shows, yes, don't do Christmas.
They did the film, and they killed off a bunch of main characters in it, and I don't think they could bring it back, even if they did a previous.
I did not know they did a film.
Oh, yes.
I knew they did
Of
a
course
TV
they did,
series.
yeah.
Because, I've only just come onto the TV series, because you get raving on about it so much, so I
it's
finally got
fantastic.
round to it. I know, it's absolutely fantastic. It's cowboys in space. It's
I suppose if they could bring back Dollhouse for a third season, that would be okay, because that's still fairly recent. It was only last year that it stopped, I think.
Keeping on the Joss Whedon.
So, yeah, Joss Whedon, he is a man of many talents.
Although he did come up with the line, "Do you know what happens to a toad that gets struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else."
See, he's a comic genius. I love him. Joss Whedon can do no wrong.
So you're going Firefly and you're going Dollhouse.
I'm definitely going Dollhouse.
Alex.
Now, I don't know if these still exist. It's a product. I'm really not sure if it's about or not. I mean, I sincerely doubt it is because it was a total flop apparently. And I think this was way back in the 80s, like the early to mid 80s when this was brought in. And I only know because I saw the advert on this sort of compilation of old 80s adverts. That's what I do with my Saturday nights in. And it's meant to be this anti-fat suit. You can do exercise in it and you run and it's meant to help the slimming process, or you can just sit on your ass watching the TV and it can slim you anyway.
And it vibrates and stuff and shakes the fat out of you.
I don't know if they're about anymore, but I sincerely doubt in this day and age that you'd get any of them about. But
I'd be interested to see it being put past Dragon's Den.
Yeah, because if they returned, I want to see how many gullible fools would go out and buy it. I think it'd be modest. Obviously, I think materialism in society has definitely increased in the last 10, 20 years. So I would just love for it to come back and just see how many really weight-conscious women would go out and buy it, or how many, men wanting to get in shape.
All the celebrities that would kind of endorse it. It's like, it's fantastic, it really works.
Plus it's a silver suit, so you walk down the street and you'd be wearing sci-fi kind of suits. I think that'd be wonderful.
Actually, point of order, sorry. I think what actually they should bring back, I've just had a thought, is this is a TV show, it's doing really well in the West End, and I think they should bring it back because it got a lot of people interested. Yes, Minister, and yes, Prime Minister. Because you can recast that as many times as you want, and the format still works brilliantly. It is a sort of Prime Minister or Minister who is completely and utterly out of his depth, doesn't really know what to do, a lovable guy, and a sort of very scheming, very sort of underhanded civil servant, desperately trying to trip him up at every time. You could do that to so many instances at the moment. There are so many themes going with the current government. They're doing it now, they're doing it in the West End, they're doing sort of versions, sort of the Brown government toppling, they're doing it with Coalition now. It's timeless. It really is timeless.
That is the perfect comic character, a kind of bumbling idiot who's in power for some stupid reason. And
then the civil servant who's, yes. Yeah. It's timeless.
Goes right until Gordon Brown gets the job, though, doesn't it?
Well, we'll get onto that later, I think.
All right, wonder what question that is. Question 6, keeping with that theme. What don't you want to see ever again?
Anne Widdecombe.
Okay.
No, raise that. Peter Mandelson. Dear goodness. When I worked in the House of Commons and he walked past me, it was like my heart turned over. Literally, I'm pretty sure that if I'd gone to a hospital, they're like, yeah, you lost 5 years off your life expectancy. What? Why? I haven't done anything. Did you walk past Peter Mandelson recently? Well, yes. And did it feel like he was wearing a cape? Yes.
You said Peter Mandelson absorbs life from people.
He does. He loves doing it. But they call him the Prince of Darkness. He loves it.
So you're saying Peter Mandelson is Dracula?
Well, him and Michael Howard kind of have a run-off thing going. Because Michael Howard, Anne Widdecombe, coming back to it, did say there was something in the night about him. Which doesn't quite seem like it, because I can imagine vampires being quite good with their technology, because in the original one, he's quite good. And Michael Howard in 2005 just couldn't text. Couldn't really use a mobile phone. So I think Peter Mandelson makes a better Dracula, whereas I would cast Michael Howard myself as Igor.
Okay. Alex.
Okay, this is a slightly more niche one, so I do apologise if nobody gets the television show I'm talking about here. But I never want to see them try to remake The Prisoner again. Because I feel that The Prisoner was all about Patrick McGoohan. And of course McGoohan's sadly no longer with us.
Is that the guy on the island who was on the numbers?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. And they remade it in 2009.
No, not even that. The Simpsons attempts to try and
was
do the
more,
Prisoner.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's where I'm getting myself from with the numbers in the island. I apologise.
But even that one, I don't think was as good.
I just feel they should stop trying, because it's one of those things. It's kind of like Doctor Who and Blake 7. They keep on going on about wanting to turn it into a film or into whatever, and I just think no.
Some things need to stay where they were.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is of its time. And with the one with the Simpsons, where they're all sort of drugged out, going, "Come with us to the island." Yes, the island. I was like, I'm on something. Or they are, and I need to find out. Okay, they're on something. That's good.
But no, I think The Prisoner should just stay as it was. A TV show, a very niche, very wacky TV show in the late 60s, and that's the way it should always be. It shouldn't be made into another TV series.
No,
sell out to Hollywood.
Likewise, Dinosaurs by Jim Henson, which he sort of did, and it's utterly brilliant, sort of very nice. Some of the dialogue is fantastic, with the sort of dad with the son just going, "School is not a place you go to ask questions, it's a place you go to be out of this house." And the lines in the first episode in itself is brilliant.
Quite grown up, isn't it, for meant to be like a kid's television program?
It is,
it's very
sophisticated.
There's a lot of jokes that the adults can enjoy as well. Yeah,
bucket loads.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's
That's
just the sort of, it's like a massive meteor the size of Mexico is about to come down with the energy to kill every living thing on the planet. This just in? No, it's not. Oh, good.
No, we'll be looking at during the break. Dan, what have you got?
What would I like to see never return?
Yeah.
Nazi rule, racism, homophobia, any of those things really can stay where they are in the past.
I'm afraid.
But I guess for a more contemporary thing, I'd never like to see the Riddlers. Did you ever watch that TV show? there were these creatures that lived in a well with rubber mask faces, and it was the most terrifying ordeal I
There
went through
were
as a small
some
child.
really
but
creepy
they were
90s TV shows.
horrific.
Round the
Riddlers.
Round the Twist.
Round the Twist!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was so weird.
There was an episode around the Twist where a guy swallowed a fish that kind of spun around in his penis and propelled him through water.
What?
It was a bizarre show. They sneezed milkshakes and sold it, I think. It was absolutely bizarre. It was Round the Twist.
We got messed up. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Can't get much
and
better than
where were those kids from Biker Grove with those ridiculous accents that I'd never come across before? Oh, it's Newcastle.
You can't get much weirder than the treacle people, though.
The Treacle People?
The treacle people.
Treacle people, yes.
I don't remember the Treacle People.
Treacle people.
Who are the Treacle People?
The treacle people.
Treacle People?
People in the treacle.
Oh no.
Just imagine Michael Howard saying it. The Treacle people.
About Rusty Spoons, have you heard that one? Rusty Spoons?
Salad fingers.
Salad fingers.
Oh,
God.
David Firth is a comic
Oh, why did you
genius,
have to
though.
remind me of that?
That is
That
brilliant.
is creepy.
There's
so...
I think my favourite clip from that entire, fatpie.com is possibly the Valentine's Day footage, if you've ever seen that. If not, go to fat-pie.com and look up for the Valentine's Day, if you want to be completely freaked out, because it's horrific.
I think
It's
to come
brilliant.
on to this point, though, it sort of shows what went wrong with television, because there were lots of brilliant shows, weren't there? Absolutely fantastic. Bucky O'Hare and stuff like that. Really good shows where it was sort of, it was for kids, but the adults could watch it as well, and it was fine, and they could all enjoy it. Henry's Cat as well. But then they took it too far with some 90s shows that were properly messed up, were never meant for kids. Never in a million years meant for kids. Just supposed to be adults, and they put them on for kids, and the adults watched it, and the adults went, what? And everyone rang up, and at the same time as Richard Bacon, the guy in Blue Peter, having the drug stuff, and they toned it all down, and they had everything for kids with the Teletubbies and all that, just stuff that the kids could understand, that was for kids, not the adults. No, death knell. It's never been the same since.
Question 7. After the new French president's first day in charge featured rain on the parade and his plane being struck by lightning, give me other examples of bad firsts.
What, is that not allowed with
Well,
France?
no,
Is that not their national anthem?
Fits, you know.
Is it Blue by Eiffel 65, which
No.
they loved apparently?
Really?
I will give you an example. Right, this is my prop. For those who obviously are not able to see us, thank you. I'm not looking well
Being
today.
a audio-based
Yes.
entertainment show.
Absolutely. I am going to give you, this is not necessary, it may well have been his first day on the job. We will never know. We will never know with this person, but this person, I imagine, never wants to show his face again, has probably lost his identity, and I will explain why. This is the diaries of Chris Mullin, MP for Sunderland South, 1987-2010. The date is Tuesday, the 20th of November 2007. Cast your minds back 5 years ago, you may remember this. This afternoon, another statement from a noticeably subdued Alistair Darling. The entire cabinet, including Gordon, turned out. Glum faces all round. It appears some chump at Revenue and Customs has, against all the rules, put a disc or discs containing 25 million child benefit records. Names, addresses, national insurance numbers, bank account details, the lots, in the post, and inevitably it has gone missing. The head of HMRC has resigned, and search parties are out looking for the missing disc. So far there are no reports that it has been misused, but the possibility remains. And then later on, Wednesday 21st November, it reveals, apparently the National Audit Office, where it was supposedly sent, refused to allow a search of their offices for several days, and the clerk who mailed the discs can't recall what address he put on it. Find me a worse possible first day than that. What a day. 25 million! That's almost half the country. In fact, in terms of people who've actually got bank accounts, that is over half the country. You know. Poor guy. Poor guy, what happened to him?
Yeah.
He's probably vanished off the face of the earth. He can never show his face again.
So,
Not good.
you want to bring research material with him? Dan.
A bad first day. Wow.
Just bad firsts in general.
Bad firsts in general.
Oh, that rules.
Well, Bad firsts.
70 is quite a bad first. I mean, it's almost a 2-1.
Bad 70.
Yeah.
First.
70.
70.
Yeah, on the grade.
Eventually going to hit down.
The 7.
Oh, I see. Oh, you fool. You fool of a tuck. Yes, I see what you mean now. Oh my goodness, sorry. I'm a little slow today. Still not quite well, all bunged up as I am. Bad first. I guess. No, I don't know. I can't think of a bad first. I'm really sorry. Dock my points. I completely blank mine. This is a really bad first time I've been on this show. I'm losing on now. I'm sure.
You're winning.
I was, and now it's just gone.
Come
I've
on.
lost it.
No.
I can't bring it back.
We'll turn it around. Your worst first day. Your worst first day.
Oh my goodness, I don't know where to begin. I guess the first day of life, you kind of set it on a roll, really, didn't you?
That's a good answer. Woke up screaming.
Yeah.
All these people staying around, you never met them before. It's pretty scary.
Alex, what have you got?
Okay, this was a very big faux pas I made when I was on a ski trip with my family. We got taken to a little, I think it was the hotel. We got taken to the hotel room by the guy who was taking us round, the chaperone chap. And he shows us around the place, the kitchen, all the bedrooms, all very nice, the living area. And at the end he goes, well, if there's anything you need, chaps, just give me a shout and I'll be over here. I don't know why I said this. I don't know. It was probably because I was tired after the long journey. But I said, yes, thank you, goodbye. And he gave this sort of like little smile, like, you know, and my dad gave me this look and said, what have you done, boy? You know, and so that wasn't the best first impression to make on the guy who's meant to be taking us around a ski resort.
No, but you can sort of. I know it's difficult. Isn't it?
I don't know what is one instances where you kind of say before you think. Probably because I was tired from walking around. 'Cause, you know,
Just came straight out.
Because I was tired. I wanted to go to the bed. And like, oh, thank you, goodbye. And it's just.
I also imagine Nick Clegg's first day in the job. That he may have said something that he would regret. I could be wrong, and David Cameron may well have done it too, and Gordon Brown didn't even say anything. So
I think that every day for a politician must be a bit of a dodgy one.
there's always something you can say. You've got to watch your mouth. You just have. Or not if you're Boris. Boris, you can just go wild.
And
Boris
you can
is
shout at
liberated.
people in lifts of LBC as well. You can go shouting people in the lifts of LBC, so it's fine.
Mm.
He had a night with Ken Livingstone in the LBC lift.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Shout up.
Tore into him. Swore.
Then he got
Very
the other
much
end
so.
and they were completely calm, you know, so it's just amazing how these people can snap and...
Ken Livingstone didn't need taking down a peg. As much as I loved Ken before, he was getting on. It's sort of like a dog that sort of limps around the place and you're just like, you're not quite bounding around, were you, with the lolling tongue? No, you've lost a bit, haven't you? Yeah, it's going to be that time soon. Well, we'll love you whilst we can. Sorry.
Question number 8. Ukraine and Poland are hosting the European Championships next month, so give me a fact about either country. Chris, I know you're well stocked up, so we'll come to you last.
I can give you a quote about Poland.
Oh, God.
And I don't know how many people actually know this, but...
By the way, points are coming off if somebody else says an answer that's already been given.
Ooh.
So if you all have the same facts.
Then I'm glad I've gone first because no one's going to get this. Apparently, Poland and England share four of the same letters in their title. Yep. They both have L-A-N-D in the name. Did you know that? I mean, it took me a while. I saw it and I thought there's something about that there. And apparently so.
Ukraine doesn't.
It's the truth.
Ukraine just has the E.
Ukraine has, yes, an E. And an N.
Yeah.
Mm.
And an A.
So that sounds like a possible television show. You take out the lands. You can have Po, Eng,
Yep.
Finn,
Scott.
Mm. Yeah, Po, Eng, Finn and Scott.
Aya.
Aya. Oh, that's going to be an angry Teletubby. Aya.
Yes, as you might be able to tell, my geographical knowledge is not at all existent, as it turns out. I don't know anything about anything.
Oh, Dan.
What am I doing on this show? I'm completely out of my depth here. I don't know what I'm doing.
Dan, anyone can miss
It's
Canada
not the
all
answer,
tucked away down there.
It's not the answer, it's how you say it, I think. Okay, well, I've got a very startling fact, which I'm sure will shock you all. But Poland was invaded by the Nazis.
When?
Dude, you can't just go around saying that.
I know. Dreadful.
You've got to back it up. Come on.
Where's the proof?
Where's the sources? Where's the citations? I want the bibliography.
Yeah. It got poor old Poland got invaded.
What year?
Don't ask me.
I will come on to that actually, because that reminds.
Let's hand over to the historical
The Poe
political
Meister.
shoot.
First of all, before actually any anecdotes, my best fact about Poland is how I think the problem that poor Poland has is how little it gets misunderstood in terms of the wars. I was in a history lesson in year 9 and Stefan was nattering at the back and we were actually talking about England in the 1900s and Mr. Barrington just sort of barked and went, Stefan! Why did the Liberals introduce welfare reforms in 1906? Because Hitler invaded Poland, sir! It gets better. Went down to lunch. Related this anecdote to my friend Tom Towers, and he's just there going, well, that's stupid. I know. Yeah, I mean, even I know that it was 1914. Tom? 1914, yes. Which war was that? One! Yeah, okay, good. With you so far. Where did we invade? Was it Belgium? It was Belgium. Poland didn't exist. But that anecdote is sort of just shows, I mean, this is a problem for Poland, isn't it? And in Ukraine, I think it is a problem for them, is that, you know, not a lot of people actually know that much about them. And it's a problem for England, because the training camp that England have got, I know this, I told you this already, Matt, it's in Krakow, which is Poland. They're playing in Ukraine. All their group games are in Ukraine. Ukraine is massive. They're trying to do it, you know, it'd be like, I don't know, having a training camp on the Isle of Wight when there's a World Cup in Scotland. You wouldn't do it. I mean, you'd love the Isle of Wight, it'd be brilliant, but it would not be very practical. You know, how would you get 23 people on a rowing boat? Come on. But lastly, about Ukraine, and I did spot this this morning in the Eye, is apparently Ukraine has a psychic pig that it's going to use. You know Paul the Octopus?
Yes.
Paul the Octopus was marvellous. There was an octopus that predicted all the results for the World Cup final in 2010.
Derby had a psychic sheep. I tell you no lie.
Oh, well that's good actually, because the Derby's obviously
the ram.
The ram, yes. So that worked. No, Germany had an octopus, very German, and it predicted all the right results.
Don't forget the octopus was English.
The octopus was English, yes. So naturally it was going to betray the Germans at some point. It had to. It was in the contract, but not when Germany played England. It predicted that Germany would win. Germany won 4-1. And Argentina, no, it predicted Germany would win. But with Spain, it said that Spain would win. It said it was going to be that Spain was going to win, and Spain did. And an octopus got death threats. So I don't know what's going to happen to this pig, because if he predicts that Ukraine win sort of their matches, and they don't go through the group stages, it's going to be sausages for breakfast.
Have they named this pig yet?
I don't know. They didn't really say. I mean, I was sort of distracted by an article that was talking about Brasenose College in Oxford banning pyjamas at breakfast. Yes.
Yeah. So, shall we have some jingles before the scores?
Okay. Which one would you like?
Oh, what have you got?
I can do the nice version of the Olympics. Let's do another verse. Oh no, I'll do what I did for Lloyd's TSB actually, because this was one of the nice things, was that the Lloyd's TSB bus is the sponsor, it's this bank that was sponsoring the Olympics. So I just did a bit of scat stuff whilst they were going past. Give us your money.
Got a bit of a Mika vibe there, actually. I quite enjoyed that.
That could be the next one, Mika.
Yeah.
Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly.
Well, I actually will riff on this. Is Justin Bieber, right?
Oh no.
I know, I've mentioned it. I've gone there. But actually, I think the problem is the music industry. They have put him in the wrong genre. He's not for pop. He's for scat. He needs to do scat jazz. Because you actually listen to Baby, he's clearly wanting to do this. Baby, baby, beaver baba beaver baba beaver baba beaver 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 baba beaver baba beaver baba beaver baba baby beaver beaver baba beaver 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 a booba dooba dooba a beaver 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 a beaver 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 by Justin Bieber, please. That is the only time I will mention that scoundrel's name.
25 points, it's Dan. Also on 25 points, it's Alex. And narrowly ahead in the lead is Chris on 27.
Oh, how have I done that? It's been nothing but annoying.
No, I let you explain.
Yes, thank you.
Question number 9. Benches Assemble is proving a smash hit, so give me your dream 11 o'clock waffle lineup. Alex?
Does this really need saying? Come on.
I think I can guess.
Yeah,
what
I think
the four people are going to.
Yeah, I think you can too. It's going to be Matt Smith, Karen Gillan, Arthur Darvill, and Stephen Moffat. Mac Forsyth, of course.
Oh, so we're for 4 panelists and me, right? Okay. Chris.
Right. Well, quite frankly, a waffles sort of lineup would be quite good. I would not mind Edgar Duncan as being the Hulk. Dan could do a passable Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. Tricky about Captain... Well, Captain America would have to be Ed Inslee, because Ed...
He's already got the costume.
Yes, he has already got the costume. So we're saving money here as well. You know, we're doing it British. We're cutting the budget. We're not doing it like the Americans. We're doing the British.
Waffle and the Avengers in the same question.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, absolutely. Trying to think who else I am missing other people from the Avengers. Thor. Oh dear goodness, Thor. Well, it's going to have to be... Yeah, Fred. Yes, Fred is Thor. Fred, even though he's not actually... He's not Feckles and he's not a Waffle either, but he wants to be... He's everywhere. He's Batman. He is actually... He's the Danish Batman.
I am the knight.
Yes, absolutely. And he's not wearing hockey pads.
Knew that quote was going to come in. Okay, Dan?
For a waffle team lineup thing, I guess.
Not sure. Who would you like to hear on the show? Could have any 3 people in the world.
Three people.
And a host.
Oh.
Actually, we have had 5 people on the panel.
I'd have either Matthew Perry, Matt LeBlanc, and David Schwimmer, or Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow, and Courtney Cox.
Somebody likes Friends.
Somebody loves Friends.
Yes.
That's something I'd like to see a return of, actually. A film.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They have
see
talked,
how they've gone.
They have talked about it. The problem, though, with Friends is that, one, it did go on too long.
No, it didn't. Absolutely not.
No.
It did exactly what it needed to, and then it cooked when it was ready.
I always think 10 seasons, you're pushing it. I always think.
Even with Fraser?
Well, some can last a distance, but I always think 5 is actually a good number, because I don't know if you'd agree with this, Matt, but I think after 5, Scrubs started to struggle a bit. And has eventually done.
I don't think we should use Scrubs as a point of reference for this.
Well, no. But you can see that certain shows clearly can't handle more than 5. It's become the norm because of how well Friends did and Frasier did. Everyone tries to do 10 series.
I will concede that British comedy tends to stick to 2 or 3, which I adore.
We're better at short.
Fawlty Towers.
Porridge.
Well, there was 4 Blackadder, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Quite
but
a few Blackadder, yeah.
4 Blackadders with a few Chris McCalls and a few specials.
Yeah.
Space, Black Books, The Office, Green Wing, classic British comedies, in my opinion, that have kind of cut it short.
Even Dead Ringers, which I'd love to see again. Dead Ringers knew when to go. Dead Ringers knew that basically once Tony Blair had gone, it needed to go.
That was it. That was their only sketch.
Well, Tony Blair and George Bush. I mean, you can't do the same with the Barber. I mean, no one wants to make fun of the Barber. For goodness' sake, he makes fun of everyone else. He mocks David Beckham for his underwear. Who else could get away with that, necessarily? A leader sort of say, sorry, David Beckham, but I'm cooler than you. And your underwear is stupid.
Okay. Question 10. It's nearly a year since the show ended on Radio Wave, but what have you learnt in the past year? Who shall we start with? The guy who's still at uni or the 2 that are out?
I would like to say that I think I've learned quite a lot in the last year. I went to Africa, which was a fantastic experience, to say the least, and I'm not trying to sound pretentious or anything like that, but it changed me. I'm a new person, and I've come back with a completely different aspect and look on life. And and all those kind of cliches. I'm serious, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I would recommend it to anyone. If you can get out and experience that kind of world, I mean, you should definitely do that one.
You don't even need to go out, you just need to know someone else who's gone out. You can see it. My brothers went out to Ghana, sort of helping people with just, the horrible stuff that Al's having to deal with, sort of basically desperately trying to find a cure that worked for hepatitis B and AIDS. You know, and when they sort of first hear that, actually wants to go out and do that necessarily. That's not an easy job, that's horrible. And the conditions are sometimes in countries like Africa, and Al had appendicitis just before he went out and had to delay it, and sort of, had dehydration, had to go to the hospital there as well because he didn't adapt to temperature. He still loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that's partially because, although I guess the UK has these perceptions of it being completely deprived and very vulnerable in a underdeveloped country, but there are still areas where, everyone's really happy over there, or it seems it anyway. If they've got the community sense, and they have got cities. Accra, the capital of Ghana, is a very built-up area, and it felt like I was in a part of London, just a very hot part of London, with open sewers. But other than that, it was absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Down. I bless the rain down in Africa. Sorry.
Alex.
I have learnt how to pay a water bill.
It is no mean feat, sir.
Oh,
what
God,
did you
no.
call this operation?
Oh God! I'm not with Southwest Water sometimes. Gosh knows, not drive you bonkers.
No, it's a good point. Water bills are
Sticky.
Down here they're terrible because in the southwest we have a third of Britain's coastline. But in terms of
Southwest, not Cornwall.
Not just Cornwall, Devon as well,
yeah.
and Somerset, and all around there in Dorset, all the southwest counties, we have about a third of the coastline.
It's only because Wales and Scotland are stuck on the side and the top there.
No, I know, they do keep doing that, don't they? Honestly. I mean, it's like they had no choice in how the geography of the world was formed.
Alex, funny answer, and you got your 2 points. Chris, what do you got?
Is that how it works? I've been doing it wrong.
Oh no, it's just a whole year and you've just learned how to pay a water bill?
Well, yeah, the other stuff
It makes it sound like it took you a year,
Yeah.
Alex.
It did.
It's like, this is a project, okay? January.
Call everybody in on this.
January, look up water.
How many letters did they send you before you finally paid the
No,
bill?
I did pay it. I would make quite clear. I did pay it on the first month, and it was all sorted. But I've just learned how to do it, and I think that's quite an achievement, really.
I can actually relate to Alex because I'm going to say actually HMRC. I'm going back to it. Hey, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. This is something that actually is quite important to learn because if you never quite learn how to pay your tax, dear goodness, they come after you. They may have guns, I don't know. It sounds like they do. In the letters it does. The TV licence people as well, they're even worse. They're sort of saying, oh, you must pay your TV licence. I haven't got TV.
Do you know, I've not paid my TV licence in 3 years, I think. Let them come.
Are we going to have to cut that?
I'll give you a pseudonym now.
Well,
This week's show is Mr. Dan Scholes.
yes, Danowski. Good to have you on the series.
And you're Skorczewski.
But seriously, HMRC, because it's a heck of a life skill. What you actually have to do is sort of, our generation, we do everything online, right? A lot of stuff online, sort of internet stuff. I tried to do self-employed stuff, and I put my national insurance number, and I mixed up 2 digits. 2 digits, and I entered it. They came back. And they sent me a letter about a month afterwards saying, oh, your national insurance number is wrong. You've got my national insurance number, HMRC. That's how it works. You're supposed to have my national insurance number. You're supposed to have a record of that. Or did you say, oh, okay, yes, that's the point. And so you sort of ring them up. And when that poor old chump sort of sent the stuff in the post, they filed a lot of stuff. And it's all online. So that means if you actually have a problem that a person can sort out really, really quickly, but a computer can't quite, because the computers, they're not quite got the human dexterity and the practicality. I don't think computers have common sense installed. I don't think, unless Windows have a program, it's Microsoft Common Sense. That'd be brilliant. Love that program. So you just go on there, and it's not wanting you to call. It's just like, please do online, please. No, I want to speak to someone. But there's all these watches them online, and there's all these addresses. I'm on the phone. I have a computer. If I wanted to do it online, I'd be on my laptop. I'm on the phone. Answer the phone, please. 30 minutes, and my phone ran out of charge and cut off. So the next morning, I went into an inquiry centre, which is only open 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Went in, chatted to someone, 5 minutes, done. For goodness sake. So what
to surmise, don't use the internet, don't use phones.
Talk to people.
Live in the 50s.
Live in the 50s and actually talk. Yes, get out there and speak. My word, yes. Couldn't have summed it up better, Dan. Why don't you just talk for me?
So what you've learned in the last year is that it was better in the 50s.
Yeah, wasn't it? I mean, apart from
I don't recall, actually.
apart from the casual racism, and the smog.
Yeah.
Mm.
Question 11. After Simon Cowell questioned why The Voice isn't a radio show, what other TV shows do you think should be on the radio? Dan.
Anything like The Only Way is Essex or Made in Chelsea or anything that's got those ugly fuckers on it, basically. I mean, sorry. Sorry, I can't say that.
Have an extra point for saying it.
Yeah, anything that's got the annoying faces. And because also, if it's a radio show, you can turn it down. You just turn it down, and then all the whining and the nonsense just kind of disappears. And it's like they're not even there.
It's true. Even the Archers, if you just crank it down to 1, it's actually quite nice background music.
Quite pleasant.
Yes.
I bet you could do that on your ukulele.
I'm actually
turn the radio off.
That's my generation that doesn't know what the Archers sounds like. I'm guessing that was its theme tune. I thought it might have been. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I never listened to it.
Love me tender, love me true, never let me go. Did that help bring it a bit more?
Not even
now you have words.
Never heard of it.
Now you have words.
I mean, I have heard of it. Just haven't heard it.
Chris, TV shows that should be just on the radio.
I like this question a lot because going back to the Archers briefly, that's a show that realised it just needed to stay on radio, that it was never going to work on television. And it stayed there, and my word, it's still going, which is quite impressive. Whereas Emmerdale, and a lot of soaps, to be honest, I think I would enjoy a lot of those soaps if they were on radio.
No, see, I think those kind of TV shows have gone on too long. 10 seasons would have been too much still, but 40 years of Coronation Street is it now? I mean, come on.
Oh, that's a horrible key for Coronation Street. I'm not even going to do it. It's appalling, isn't it? You're just there going, that poor trumpeter. Is that what they do? Does he have to play like that in Manchester? Otherwise they'll do something to him. They will. It's Gene Hunt. It's Gene Hunt torturing someone by playing that. That's what it is. That's why they have Coronation Street. That's why they have the trumpet tune. It's Gene Hunt torturing someone with a trumpet until he actually cracks and tells them where the money's buried.
So you're getting soaps?
I think, yeah, because I just think if you actually put EastEnders and stuff like that, because the drama is quite good and the stuff they do, and they've done it completely live, which is impressive. But I just think that it would actually work better on radio because all I get is he's dead, he's left, he's blown up, and they're still family.
Yep.
And there's some woods involved occasionally when they need to dump a body. Which unfortunately is wood, I
Far
think.
too often, I think, for
yes.
where I live.
Yeah, they always go out to Epping Forest. It's sort of like a morbid day trip.
It's like Midsummer Murders. Who still lives there? Like, why would you continue to move to that area when everyone's been killed off?
It's been a while since we killed someone, oh yeah, it was getting dull around here. Who should we pick? Mrs. Travis. No, Mrs. Travis it is. How should we do it? Pitchfork,
I just like the idea that the estate is going, this is quite cheap, this property. What's this? It's just paint on the wall.
Oh, do not joke about that. No. Gloucester. Ooh, there was a case. Gloucester. That was not good. Fred West. Very nasty case. I won't go into it. You look it up. It is not. Well, it happened locally. It was the thing. It was Gloucester. It's unfortunate. It's one of the things that Gloucester was known for nationally because it was so shocking.
What, estate agents?
No. Someone had basically, bumped off people and had hid them in various places, and they demolished the house.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They did a really good job on it recently called An Appropriate Adult. I believe it was Dominic Lewis.
Dominic. Yeah.
I think it was him. He was very good. He was Fred West. It was a very good performance, Bates. You.
Alex, digital media student.
Why is this not a radio show? It's called The Voice. Surely with a name like that, it's ideal radio material.
Yeah.
Are you paraphrasing Simon Cowell? Because that is very dangerous.
I didn't even know he said that.
Yeah, that was the start
That
of
was
the
the
question.
question.
After Simon
Oh,
Cowell
right.
questioned why The Voice isn't a radio show.
I didn't hear that, sorry. Oh gosh.
But you have
That's
that point. It should be.
Yeah,
on the
I don't
radio.
understand
It's-
why it's not a, you know, I mean, why aren't some of the, I mean, okay, Strictly Come Dancing I can understand because it's got dancing in, but all the ones that involve singing, why aren't they on the radio?
Well,
Now, see, on the flip side of that, I think you should watch things like Strictly Come Dancing with the sound off. Just make it a completely visual thing.
Silent
They
movie.
look ridiculous. Have you seen the way they move to seemingly no sound at all? It's absolutely insane.
or have different music on. So when they're doing, I don't know, a waltz,
Just play Benny Hill in the background all the time.
or
Yeah.
just like just sort of, I don't know, when they're doing a rumba, just have the tango just going. Ba-doo.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. It's the Muppet Habanero. Sorry, anyway. Sorry. I completely ruined your answer there, Alex.
Alex, you're getting absolutely slayed on the improvisation today. There's now a 6-point gap between you and first. Question 12. What Olympic event do you feel you'd stand a chance in?
Beer
Improv?
pong.
One at a time. Alex, you need points. Go.
Well, if they have an event that prefers to eat lots of chocolate, then yeah, I think I'd be an absolute winner.
I think I could definitely give you some competition for that one, Alex. I can vouch for that, absolutely.
Isn't that the event that every kid would love to do?
Oh yeah.
Just eat chocolate.
No, the
In
one where
public,
you used to
you
have
get
gloves. The one where you used to have gloves as well, and you used to have a knife and fork. Did no one play that game where you sort of had to roll the dice, and you got a 6, you got a bar of chocolate, and you had to cut it up using gloves and stuff like that, just to make it that little bit harder. Brilliant.
No, I can't. Were you mistreated as a child?
I lived in Gloucestershire. Imagine hot fuzz.
Enough
You
said.
could only have a chocolate bar if you rolled a 6 tonight, Chris.
If you roll
And
a
then
5,
put-
however, it will be the dungeons for you.
Put your chocolate gloves on.
Oh, thank goodness. No, don't do that.
Dan.
Kids, don't put on your gloves.
An Olympic event that I could do well in, other than chocolate eating, I believe that I may compete with. Probably beer pong.
Beer
Yes,
pong.
I think so. I've been honing my technique for some years now under the tutelage of Frederick Trone.
I think it would be a gold medal to Denmark.
Yes, most definitely. I can switch allegiances, right? I can be on the Danish team. Well, this is the thing, right? I was watching Britain's Got Talent, and don't chastise me for that just yet.
No.
But on Britain's Got Talent, there was a Holland-based basketball team. And like, surely the show title. And Simon Cowell was like, I'm so glad that you feel you can come over and join and take part. And like, surely that's not the point of the show. If it's Britain has got
It's
talent,
Eurovision's got talent.
it's just ridiculous.
What? What?
I'm all up for internationality, that's fine.
I'm as confused as someone who tries to listen to me when I'm in Holland,
But
for
why not
example.
just call it The World's Got Talent? Or We've All Got Talent,
World's
yay
Got
for us.
Talent.
Because everyone in Britain would disagree with the idea that the world's got talent. They'd be like, those darn Yankees over there, they
I
haven't
was
got
just
anything.
completely thrown by it.
No, it was, Holland bus. How did they set that up?
I have no idea. Simon Cowell was really pleased with them.
Da-da-da-da-da. Clogs.
Chris, Olympics event you could have a chance in.
Improv. If there was an Olympic version of any questions, I mean, you and I could both enter. And I think actually, the FECCLES, we could basically be a country.
Do you think we could?
If we actually just set up the FECCLES Olympics, which has definitely been talked about, writing, I think that could be quite a good event. We've got several writers. 3 of us used to be on the writing team.
Well, it's like give them a subject and then say you have 10 minutes to write an epitaph about this. Go!
Write the one where it's you had to the other team picks the location and the setting and the last line. We would walk that event.
We did waste a lot of time. I mean, spend valid time on that, didn't we?
We
Yeah.
researched various archives, such as the popular channel Dave, including such greatest hits as Whose Line Is It Anyway UK, Whose Line Is It Anyway US, Whose Line Is It Anyway UK and US, one after the other. Top Gear not so much, that's not really improv, but I imagine, I could do that. If there was an Olympic event called Top Gear, that could be quite fun. Star in a reasonably priced car, I could do the interview, but I couldn't actually drive, but then the Stig would help me out. So, I actually get to drive.
She's saying an Olympic event where we
nominate
a celebrity from every country.
An Olympic event with a Stig. My word. He could do everything.
Throw hooplas onto him, or he's taking part.
He could just do everything.
You wouldn't know who the difference
Some
was
say
between
that
stick
he
and
can
American
do
stick.
Some say that he can do the shot put and the hammer throw at the same time.
Question 13. With the Olympic torch travelling around the UK, which part of the country wouldn't you mind them tripping over in and setting fire to?
Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set, and that's where I fall down.
The night on.
The night. Isn't it a bit disappointing that he does just rhyme fire, fire, and fire?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's not a rhyme, it's the same word.
It's a rhyme. Well, it's lazy. It is a bit lazy.
It's very lazy, yeah.
Not quite Bruno Mars lazy, but lazy. I struggle with this.
Well,
I struggle with this, but I'm going to say, well, yes, Dan, go first.
Okay, I guess wherever they make The Only Way is Essex. I hear that somewhere in the east, I think.
In Essex.
Yeah, that's it. I've heard of that, yeah. And Made in Chelsea, wherever they make that one too.
Please stop at the border.
Yeah.
Please stop at the border, otherwise you will torch Ipswich, and my girlfriend lives there.
I cannot be held responsible for the torch Olympic flame carrier.
I thought you were about to say you cannot be held responsible for Ipswich, and that is certainly
unless
true.
I tricked him.
Alex.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely bamboozled with this one. Yeah, I'd probably say where's the biggest McDonald's in the world? Somewhere in America.
Oh, that's a good question because you're.
I think that's slightly off the Olympic route, though,
Well,
Alex.
if they trip really hard at Cornwall and they go all the way across the Atlantic.
Launch the flame.
Yeah,
Set the record for long distance javelin.
I wouldn't know about countries, but I'd say I think the biggest McDonald's needs to go somehow. I'm sorry, but we can't have that.
Biggest
That'll be
McDonald's.
central
The
London.
biggest McDonald's in England.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't we have the former assistant manager of McDonald's on here?
No, I can't see him. Can you?
We're going.
That's the guy who hasn't paid his TV license, isn't he? Just around the door.
We're going to blow up the biggest McDonald's. No. He said no. Can we still do it? Yeah.
Chris, you've toured half the country.
Well, this is a very good point. And I think this is actually a place that is going to get torched at one point, and actually has been torched before. And I think someone is going to attack it because Windsor and Eton. Windsor Castle, of course, has already been torched before. So we can do that one already, because we know they can rebuild it. Oh, family. The lizards. They're alien lizards. They can do anything.
do whatever they
They're not
want.
actually using that
They
place.
could make the Death Star if they chose.
They're in the swamp. There's a swamp. There's a swamp underneath the castle. They said they was daft to build a castle in the swamp. But, to a serious point, I think, honestly, if they actually burnt down Eton, as historic as it is, I would say, good. Because, no.
Say no more, Chris. Say no more.
All right.
You'll be fine.
Well, I'll be fine. Well, no, just to explain briefly, because like a sitcom, like various ones, it's not of its time anymore. It's not actually timeless. It's outlived its purpose.
Could you not say that about a lot of historical monuments, like Pendennis Castle or anything? It's like national heritage.
But they could at least close
National
it.
trust.
They could. I think it needs to be closed. It needs to be wound down. It just needs to be left
In the past.
in the past. Turn it into something else. Turn it, and this is actually a point. They do a lot of drama. The drama there is very good. Just turn it into something like a drama school or something like that. Something that it still does very well, because a lot of people who go to Eton do drama very well. Just keep it as drama school. Do not use it to basically educate our politicians and have them go around being told by all the people who've gone to Eton, oh yes, have you met David? He's going to be the next Prime Minister.
Help us.
Yeah. Because that's what he had. That's what our Prime Minister had. He had everyone going around going, oh, have you met him? Yes, he's going to be an absolutely brilliant Prime Minister. When he gets in, what if he can't do it? Oh, heck.
Yeah.
Well, he made a prime minister.
Alex, I'm absolutely shocked that one of your regular answers hasn't appeared for setting fire to.
What? What's that?
I'll just give you a hint and relate it to 1980s Doctor Who cancellation.
Do you mean the chap's house?
Yes.
Well, that's a bit harsh. I wouldn't go as far as that. No, I wouldn't go that far. The thing is, do you mean Jonathan Powell or Michael Grade?
Michael Grade. He's been your answer about every show.
Yeah, and the thing is, I have to lay off the Grade now a bit, because he did do a very good series for radio about the history of television, which, to be fair to him, he was quite complimentary about Doctor, so I take it he's learnt his lesson.
You're just getting soft in your early 20s.
I know.
Well, Michael Grade's a funny one, isn't he? He's a very funny one. There's been times when I've absolutely hated him, and now I don't mind him as much. He's a very old one.
He's not a suit, I'll give him that. He's a creative, he isn't a suit.
I preferred Greg Dyke, though, just because of the way that he didn't on Dead Readers. My name is Greg Dyke. I am Director General of the BBC. Shut up, I am. Bring back Dr. Who. Alright, but it won't have the Daleks. It was fantastic, because you didn't even meet Greg Dyke, and you just like, you imagine him just walking down the street just being like Michael Caine. That's all, Sir Michael Caine even, and that's all you ever needed to know.
Final question before the 20-second improv round. Question 14. If you were in charge of organising an event for the Queen's Jubilee, what would you do? Alex. Are you having entertainment? Are you having catering? What's going on at your do?
I think I'd organise the biggest bloody tea party that's ever been seen in the history of England.
That sounds quite violent.
Tea!
I mean bloody tea. I drink Lapsang Souchong, but that stuff sounds strong.
It won't go the way of Boston, don't worry. It'll be a nice civilised tea party.
So who's making the tea? Anybody famous?
I think the Doctor, Matt Smith, can make a good cup of tea.
It's true. And in fact,
We made tea that saved someone's life in the Lodger episode, so you know.
Yeah.
In truth, it's nice because actually, I think quite a lot of people are doing stuff with Doctor Who. I know there's someone up at Gloucestershire, where I live, just sort of 5 minutes walk from my house. They've been doing regeneration work on this place that used to be part of an old mansion, and they're going to have a sort of time travelling gardener almost from 1903, giving them tools and stuff. Yeah, so I like that. Yeah.
Okay, Dan. You've hosted many a party in your time.
I have been a party host, it can be said. But I guess I'd probably go something like that. Actually, have like all the drinking games, the Royal Ring of Fire, you know, the Queen's Pong,
Prince Philip at beer pong versus friends. I would pay diamonds to see that happen. I can see. Problem is, I can see Charles trying to do it.
But I think we'd have to have a lot of tea as well. I think we'd probably, because it's English, it's the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. We need tea.
Prince Charles.
And I think it needs to be.
Prince Charles would be the person going around with the terrible chat-up lines. I've been told some of his chat-up lines throughout the ages
Really?
are awful, and he'd probably be quoting the Goons and everyone.
And I guess if I was having someone making the tea as a special guest, rather than Matt Smith, I think I'd go Stephen Fry, because he sells, well, he did sell Twinings very well, and I just think he's fantastic, actually. I'm just going to plug Stephen Fry for a second, because who doesn't like Stephen Fry? He is fantastic.
I'm Davis.
He is hilarious from Hugh and Laurie, what am I talking about? From a bit of Fry and Laurie. And he is this kind of Austro-Hungarian descended homosexual Jew, and yet he's perfectly representative of what England is. And I love that, because he's so Stephen. He's just brilliant. Sorry. Stephen Fry would be at my party.
You're having a house party with Stephen Fry making tea.
Yes.
Yes. Prince Philip on the beer pong.
Exactly.
It's true.
And the Queen on the Royal Ring of Fire. Yes.
I must interject, and as brilliant as Stephen Fry is, and the fact that he's sort of also come back from having a criminal record.
Yes.
As well. I would actually pick, hosting the tea party, the person who combined Fry and Laurie originally, Emma Thompson. Because it's through her that Emma Thompson was a friend of both of them and introduced them to
university. Yeah.
At university. So not only did she create Fry and Laurie, she's been a very good actress herself. And I think actually having her sort of being there, and you can just see the way she is in Love Actually and stuff like that, so just going, just like, get a grip. No one's going to sleep with you if you're exciting all the time. And stuff like that. She'd be the perfect hostess. She goes around anyway in Love Actually, sort of, you know, you can see she's in her element, sort of making lobster costumes
getting
as well.
Things done, like
You're getting things done. She'd be bustling around. She'd be absolutely fantastic. And I think sort of having, I don't know who you'd have. I mean, sort of, I suppose you've got to have But then you sort of have someone wanting to be Prime Minister, and that kind of gets difficult because it's Hugh Grant, there's Martin Sheen, we run out of people. Everyone wants to be Tony Blair. I don't understand why, but they do.
So that brings us to the end of the questions. Do you want to do one last jingle before I do the scores, and then you can play your song, Chris? Can you?
Right. Yes. Sorry, I've had a request. There was another song I was going to do.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, sorry.
This is just a jingle for the scores, and then you can do your song.
Oh, right, okay. Coca-Cola don't really have one, do they? Because they were in town. And the problem is I couldn't do it, so...
You do James Bond.
I've got Hilltop, the New Seekers. Oh, and there's The Holidays Are Coming.
It's been a while since I've watched James Bond, isn't it? That was not. Oh.
Shall we have the points then? Remember, it can all change on the 20-second improv round, which is it's going to have to for Alex, who's on 44 in a minute and last place.
That is
That's
acceptable.
a lot of points.
That's still acceptable.
And second place, narrowly ahead on 45, it's Chris.
Oh my goodness.
So with everything to lose, on 47 it's Dan.
How did this happen?
Very good.
It's a very good first.
Yeah, apparently. Well, we'll see. We've got
No, it isn't.
20
It's
seconds each, yeah.
barely a third.
So, Chris, if you'd like to play a song, and I'll come up with the 20-second improv.
This little one is called, it originally started on the Muppets. It's a brilliant song. They covered it. It's called Tomorrow. And the thing I like about it is that it has the original puppet creators as with their own Muppets. So there was a Muppet of Jim Henson on the left, Jerry Nelson on the right, and Frank Oz in the middle. I started on a journey just a little year ago to a little town called Morrow in the state of Ohio. I'd never been much of a traveller, so I really didn't know that Morrow was the hardest place I'd ever try to go. So I went down to the station for my ticket and applied for tips regarding Morrow, not expecting to be guided. Said I'm a friend, I'd like to go tomorrow and return no later than tomorrow, for I haven't time to burn. He said to me, now let me see if I have got you right. You'd like to go tomorrow and return tomorrow night. You should have gone tomorrow, yesterday and back today, but the train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way. If you had gone tomorrow, yesterday, now don't you see, you could have gone tomorrow and been back today at 3. But the train that goes tomorrow, if the schedule is right, today it goes tomorrow and returns tomorrow night. Said I'd like to go tomorrow, so can I go today? And get there by tomorrow night if there is no delay. He said, I've got no more to say. Can you get anywhere tomorrow and get back again today? I said, I guess you know it all, but can I let me say, can I get tomorrow if I'm in town today? So he said, you cannot go tomorrow anymore today, but the train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way. I was so disappointed, I was mad enough to swear. The train had gone tomorrow and it left me standing there. The tram was right in telling me, you are a howling jay. You cannot go tomorrow, well I guess in town I'll stay. I don't get it.
I should point out there could be people working next door.
I work even harder after that to get away.
Be suitably inspired. Have you got any more songs you'd like to play? I'm still working on this bit.
Yes, no, absolutely. Dan?
What? Sorry.
Oh, just get you on the bits in the middle of the dialogue. I know that your pals are pretension. I was wet as a warthog's backside. But think as you are, pay attention. My words are a matter of pride. It's clear from your vacant expressions. The lights are not all on upstairs, but we're talking kings and successions. Even you can't be caught unaware. So there's So be prepared for the chance of a lifetime. And be prepared for sensational news. A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer.
And where do we feature?
Just to listen to teacher. I know it's unsordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I have given my dues. And injustice deliciously squared. Be prepared. Yeah, be prepared. Yeah, we'll be prepared.
Prepared for what?
For the death of the king. Why, is he sick? No, fool, we're gonna kill him. And Simba too. Great idea! Who needs a king?
No king, la 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 la.
Idiots! There will be a king!
But you just said
I will be king! Stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again! Oh, this is great! I love the king! I love the king!
long live the king!
Ding, 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 ding. It's great that we'll soon be connecting with a king who'll be on time and dawn. Of course, quid pro quo, you're expected to take certain duties on board. The future is littered with prizes, and though I'm the main addressee, the point that I must emphasize is you won't get a sniff out of me. So be prepared for the coup of the century. Be prepared for the Machiastan. Meticulous planning, tenacity spanning, decades of denial, simply why I'll be king undisputed, respected, saluted, and seen for the wonder I am. Yes, my teeth and ambitions are there, be prepared. Yes, our teeth and ambitions are there, be prepared.
The best Whoopi Goldberg impression I've ever heard in my entire life.
What have you ever say about that boy? I apologise, Whoopi.
I do love that one.
That was an example of excellent casting.
Whoopi
Everyone in
Goldberg
that.
is a
She did a
hyena.
bit in the Broadway, in the West End show for a while as well.
Well,
She
I mean, he
came
made
over.
such a good musical as well. It inspired that musical.
It's one of my favourite musicals.
Yeah,
It's one of
it's a
my
really good
favourites.
musical as well, and they've adapted it ever so well. Any others, Mac?
If you've got it, I'm still trying to work on one for Dan.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that hard. Just something easy, nice and simple.
Not about the Golden Arches, though.
Not about anything sporty
Oh,
or modern
thank
or
you,
popular.
Alex.
Oh, I know what I can do. This one goes out to Ed Duncan.
You're good. Good kiss.
I'm going to have to work on this.
No, no. I'm not loving it.
That's it. This one goes out to one of the 11 o'clock wafflers of the ages. We may have done well today. Whoever wins, we will still all bow to him. Ed Duncan. He just has to turn up. He just has to turn up and get down on the ground. And he will win the 11 o'clock waffle. And sadly, he is not here. And we do miss him. We love you, Ed. And this is a little riff from something that Ed and I both quite enjoy called Dragon Ball Z Abridged. It is a version of Our Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. Down in the square, one evening when I was there, when I saw Vegeta shouting underneath the flare, I've got a lovely bunch of Dragon Balls, diddle-a-doo-doo, here they are all sitting in a bunch, doo-doo-doo. Big ones, small ones, all as big as my head. Give them a toss, they're landing across, that's how Vegeta wins. I've got a lovely bunch of Dragon Balls, immortality will make me rich. Who needs a wife when you got eternal life? I'll blow a freezer's mind without a shit hits. Actually, can we do that again, Mac? Because that sounded unfortunate. Can we cut that? I knew I'd have to.
Keep it in, keep it in.
Nice
No,
balls,
I want
nice
to do it
balls.
again.
Nice balls.
Yes. Sorry, can I borrow the...
Yeah, take the balls.
Shall we do the 20-second improv?
Yes.
Sure.
So I finally got 3.
Chris just waters his lungs.
Dan, as you are in the lead,
Oh, yes.
You get to pick who goes first.
Aha.
And where you would like to go. Or if you want to go first,
Well,
second, or third.
I think I've generally always been of the opinion that if you kind of get yourself in first and get things done and out of the way, then you can't change anything. So I'm going to go first if that's okay.
The point scoring system on this, by the way, is
Uh-huh.
whichever one I think's the best gets 5 points.
Yep.
Second best, third. Worst gets 1.
Right.
It's a solitary point.
So I'd have to win.
You'd have to.
Basically. Yes.
Yeah,
Right, no pressure then.
Looking that way
Fantastic.
down.
Anything can happen on this one.
Anything
I'm
can
going down
happen.
to-
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's nice and tight. So, Dan, you're going first. It's
Okay.
the 20-second improvisation round. Just to recap of the scores quickly.
Mhm.
Alex 44, Chris 45, Dan 47.
That's very close.
So Alex has been getting absolutely roasted on the improvisation
Go that
today.
far, old chap, but okay.
Yeah, it's steady on.
Dan.
Yes.
Okay, when I say I mean you.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
I will do everything in my power to move from assistant manager to manager of McDonald's. Go.
Well, basically, I've been assistant manager for how many years now? 2 years, I suppose. And basically, I will do anything, sir, to become your senior, your manager. I want to be above you. I want to be on top of you. I will do anything. Are you getting where I'm going with this? Yes, sir. Yes. Exactly. And while you're down there, so below me, I will show you things under these golden arches that you have never dreamed of before in your life.
Time.
He's won it. Give him the pro train.
Hang on, we've still got you and Alex to come yet.
Oh, and I have a prop.
Oh, are you doing it musically?
Oh, I can. Let's see what
Medium
it
of
is.
song. Medium of song.
Chris. I should be remade President of FECCLES as it's gone downhill badly after my tenure ended. Go.
It's all falling apart ever since I left. Why won't you take me back? I came up with party quirks, for goodness sake. And I gave Dan his Hugh Laurie impersonation, and I basically created you all. You're all my children, so get me back or else.
They've both been very good, Alex.
I know, well, thank you.
But you could still win this.
Yes, I have bloody
You
well.
can, you can.
You can. I would be watching the next series of Doctor Who in protest of Karen Gillan leaving. Instead, I watch repeats of Bargain Hunt. Ready?
I'm going to kill you for this, Forsyth. Go. Oh, yes, I'm going to be watching Bargain Hunt instead of that Doctor Who. Yeah, who... Thing is, either way, I see someone orange. I can see David Dickinson or I can see Karen Gillan. But to be honest, I think David's definitely the more orange. It's like someone almost took his head off as a baby and plunked a giant orange in its place. And then he sends out and tries to sell and tries to get people to buy stuff. It's the only job he could get. Apart from a greengrocer.
Time.
I do have to say that the budget for Bargain Hunt was always cheap as chips.
Right.
There's not many Bobby Dazzlers like that anymore.
Would you like to play your song to Ed, sorry?
Yes.
And I'll tot up the final scores.
Down in the square, one evening I was there, when I heard a producer shouting underneath the flare, I've got a lovely chunk of Dragon Balls, every all sitting in a bunch, do-do-do, big ones, small ones, all as big as my head, give them a toss. No, can we do it again?
Yep.
I need to do it again, sorry.
And two.
I've got a lovely bunch of Dragon Balls, diddly-doo-doo, here they are all sitting in a bunch, do-do-do, 1 star, 2 star, all as big as my head, give them a toss, a pan it across, that's how Vegeta wins. I've got a lovely bunch of Dragon Balls, diddly-doo-doo, immortality will make me rich. Who needs a wife when I've got eternal life? I'll blow a freezer ship without a hitch.
Any chance you can do Sex on Fire on that for the scores?
I say no, I can't possibly do that. Sorry, I'm being Zarbon, who's so outrageously camp in this show, Mac. You'd love him, absolutely. And there's a bit where they're just sort of going,
Zarbon, what possible reason could you have for actually interrupting me in the middle of a call?
well, I need to call my girlfriend. What?
Ginyu, I'll call you back. Come again.
You see, our 1-year anniversary is coming up, and I want to know where she wants to go so I can make reservations early.
Oh, and all this time I could have sworn you were... never mind.
What, you thought I was single?
No, I thought you were into... You know, it really doesn't matter.
Well, it matters to me, because frankly it makes it sound as if you thought I was Lord
Freezer! If we can keep that bit in for it.
Yeah.
Please keep that in for
We
it.
can keep it in,
Yes.
or we can knock a point off. It's up to you. You can lose a point, or keep it in.
What? What did I do? What have I done wrong?
I was supposed to be doing the scores, and you're going on anecdotes.
Knock a point off then. If it keeps in, then you can knock a point off, and if I lose on that, then I lose gallantly.
In last place, 45 points. Tough gig today, Alex. Tough gig.
Yeah, no, 45.
Fair, I've got these two to contend with, so I feel honoured that
You
you made it
passed.
past 30.
You still
so-
pass.
Yeah.
Over 40.
It's a solid third.
In second place, on 49 points, having shot himself spectacularly in the foot for sharing the win, it's Chris. So in the lead on 50, it's Dan with his debut win.
And that was absolutely fine. I thought that might happen. That was very nicely done. I sort of went through the maths of it and thought, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose if I lose a point. Ah.
Wow.
So that is it for the 16th ever show of the 11 o'clock waffle.
Oh wait a second. Where's my prize? What do I win?
You just win.
The honour of being on here.
Dan is the champion till the end.
He's a champion.
Dan is the champion.
What?
Dan is the champion.
What?
No time for losers.
He's the winner.
Dan is the champion
He won.
of the waffle.
Thank you very much.
He won. He won.
You are.
He won.
And on that note, we say thank you to today's winner, Dan, Chris and Alex, and hopefully we will be recording another show shortly.
It's been a pleasure.
In about 7 months' time, probably.
I think we sort of mentioned the Olympics all the way through. We've not really, as such, had a... Well, I suppose apart from the setting it on fire.
Load of people do sport, it's fine, you know.
But I would just like to finish on the Olympics thing, because this goes out to Loz, Emma, Freya as well, who at the moment is sort of doing Oklahoma, which is going to be awesome, and I wish I could see it, but time restraints. So yeah, and all the other people who I've forgotten to mention who actually helped me come up with this song. So yes.
Just before this happens, can I also say thank you for having me? It's been surreal, and no doubt this will be too.
We are hosting the Olympics. We are hosting the Olympics. We are hosting the Olympics, and the torch will go marching on. The torch lady was amazing. The torch lady was amazing. The torch lady was amazing. But Lowe's kind of sporty when he thought she was a guy. But we are hosting the Olympics. We are hosting the Olympics. We are hosting the Olympics, and the torch will go marching on in a van.
Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.